These are the faces of students being bullied at school. 10-year-old Brianna Heck, her brother 11-year-old John, 11-year-old Cameron Sturgill, and 15-year-old Brianna Barker. And what are they doing to you?
They're cussing at me and they're threatening me.
I was being bullied a lot, and someone just came up in the bathroom and they just hit me into a bathroom stall and broke my half of my tooth.
She walked up to the front of the bus and punched me.
These Jefferson County Public School students all have a different story to tell about attacks at school. According to a study by the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, as many as half of all children are bullied at some point in elementary and middle school, and at least 10% of them are bullied on a regular basis, whether it be verbal, emotional, physical, or online. We found several videos of fights on JCPS school buses on YouTube showing what kids are dealing with every day.
It makes me feel like crap most of the time. Because, come home from school, because I deal with it most of the time on the bus and, later in my classes. And I'd be, really upset. And, sometimes I want to cry.
WDRB has also uncovered video of bullying on the bus with girls teaming up against one student who was sitting in his seat. JCPS says it doesn't tally the number of bullying investigations, but says for this school year through March, there have been 110 suspensions related to bullying, 13 in elementary schools, 78 in middle, 16 in high schools, and 3 in special schools.
There's kids who call kids inappropriate words, cuss words, and they're saying they're gonna kill you.
Have a different style than most people, listen to different music, different clothes, that too, so it doesn't really help. People just pick on me for anything they can.
Kentucky House Bill 91, known as a bullying bill, was signed into law in 2008. It requires school districts to have plans, policies, and procedures to deal with the problem.
There's some bullying issues that could be just kids maybe just using the old phrase, picking on each other a little bit, that can be resolved very quickly. So we're training our teachers and principals to recognize the different levels of bullying.
Jack Jacobs, the JCPS Director of Student Health and Safety, says it's not that more kids are being bullied. Instead, he says there's more awareness about the problem.
We need for parents to work with their children on bullying and teach that bullying is wrong.
The district says if your child is being bullied, there are 3 steps to take. Report it to the principal or assistant principal at the school. Set up a conference with the principal to talk about the bullying, and put the claims in writing. What can you say to parents who are still frustrated with what they call the process of dealing with their child being bullied? What can you say to them?
They have to stick with the process. They have to stay with it and stay with it. And the one thing that we found is that if they'll put it in writing, that it will become much more clear to the investigators.
JCPS says the schools will conduct an investigation, and a deeper investigation can be done if the principal feels it's needed.
Every school has a little bit different setup, but all schools follow the Student Code of Conduct and the Student Bill of Rights.
Parents say they're looking for answers to the bullying problems, but understand it takes time.
My kids have been picked on since kindergarten, on the bus, in the schools, and nothing gets done. It's tiresome.
What's a solution for JCPS to combat this bullying problem?
Well, there's supposed to be a zero tolerance policy. Stick to it. Start doing zero tolerance.
JCPS says it has a zero tolerance policy when it comes to violence, including bullying. These kids say they're fed up with the bullies and hope their words will make a difference on the bus and in school. John, what do you want to say to the kids who are being the bullies?
If they please could stop, and if they could control themselves from doing all this bad and saying inappropriate and cuss words and stuff. It'll make them have a better life.
What are they getting out of calling people each other names, hitting them? Does it make them feel better about themselves or what?
For the Special Assignment Report, I'm Valerie Chin, WDRB Fox 41 News. Students are using their cell phones to shoot video of out-of-control fights on Jefferson County public school buses. Videos are now posted on YouTube, including this one from a Lassiter Middle School bus as the students are rolling in the aisle, standing up and fighting. JCPS has 40 cameras for the district's 930 buses, but won't release any of the video, citing privacy.
They wouldn't sit down, they were throwing stuff out the windows, yelling and screaming and fighting.
Bus monitor Delana Conway says that's what she had to deal with each day. Her job was to break up fights, many more serious than this, so the bus driver could just concentrate on driving.
We're transporting 60,000 kids. So every day we have a fight on a bus or 2 buses or 3 buses.
JCPS Transportation Director Rick Capel admits being a bus monitor is a tough job. He says a district has 25 monitors, mostly on alternative school runs, and 125 school-based monitors who work at schools and make extra money monitoring bus behavior like this. With a starting pay of $8.25 an hour, the district says it's hard to find people who are willing to do the job.
The problem is that to make it more attractive, the district's going to have to spend more money.
A school board member tells WDRB she will approve more money for monitors if needed. But the district says another solution is to get more cameras as the district applies for grants to help pay for them. You can see the students ignoring the bus driver's commands. Conway says this is typical for buses she was on that went to East End elementary schools and took kids back home to downtown Louisville and the Portland areas. She says when the kids boarded the buses, they acted fine, but as soon as the buses left the schools and hit the interstates, the kids got out of hand.
There had been times I had wrote like 45 referrals in one day on kids on the school bus because they'd go into riots where they're beating each other up and hanging out windows.
Conway says bus drivers and monitors write the referrals, which are bus misconduct reports, and the principals enforce the punishment. JCPS says there's a wide range of discipline, from being written up to suspensions and in serious cases, arrest. Conway says she was hired by JCPS in 2004, was a bus driver for 3 years and a bus monitor for the last 3 years. As a monitor, she got a fractured nose from trying to break up a fight among elementary school kids. And she quit her job after being assaulted last school year.
She just started going off and calling me the B word and jumped up and grabbed me by my hair. And her brother came from the front of the bus and came flying back over the seats and started punching me in the face.
We requested felony cases of students accused of attacking teachers, bus monitors, drivers, and other students. There are more than 100 pages this school year alone. On a bus from Frost Middle School, a female student grabbed a boy and slammed his head into the metal rail of the bus seat numerous times, causing a concussion. On a bus from Ballard High School, a student set another student's hair on fire. At Liberty High School, a student grabbed another student and slammed their head into a side of a school bus. Capel says the district knows that 1 or 2 children in each of the problem buses are the problem, and that's the same in the classroom.
You can remove 1 or 2 students from the bus. That would probably help most of our discipline. But again, our job is to try to educate those children, so they tend to stay on the buses.
And that has parents furious who want to see kids who misbehave kicked off the bus permanently. But JCPS says it deals with each case individually. The district has 2 lawsuits against it in which parents claim their child was injured by bullies on the bus. The parents of the St. Matthews Elementary student claim that 12 children beat him on the bus so severely that they left him with a shoe mark on his face and gave him a black eye. And according to the lawsuit, a Gilmore Lane Elementary 8-year-old student suffered a broken arm at the hands of a bully on the bus. JCPS says it can't comment on pending litigation. Conway says she's done with situations like this with kids who don't listen to bus drivers or monitors. She's now changed professions, taking a huge pay cut.
I started out at like 13, and then by the time it was over with, I was making almost $16 an hour. But there again, I quit my job to make $10 an hour because it was not worth the pay.
For the Special Assignment Report, I'm Valerie Chin, WDRB Fox 41 News.